Welcome to Chapter 1, Part 3 of the Digital Marketing course from Eduonics. My name is Kristen. I'm your instructor. This is the SEO chapter, and in this section, we'll be discussing Google penalties and how to recover from those penalties. So let's discuss what are Google penalties. They fall under three different algorithm changes. This is Google Panda, Google Penguin, and Hummingbird, which is based on semantic search. So let's go ahead and discuss Panda first. Google Panda is a change to Google's search engine results ranking algorithm that was first released in February 2011. The change aimed to lower the rank of low-quality sites, or quote-unquote thin sites, and return higher quality sites near the top of the search results. CNET at this time reported a surge in the rankings of news websites and social networking sites, and a drop in rankings for sites containing large amounts of ads. This change reportedly affected the rankings of almost 12% of all search results. Soon after the Panda rollout, many websites, including Google's Webmaster Forum, became filled with complaints of scrapers, copyright infringers getting better rankings than sites with original content. At one point, Google publicly asked for data points to help detect scrapers better. Google's Panda has received several updates since the original rollout in 2011, and the effect went global in April 2011. To help affected publishers, Google provided an advisory on its blog, thus giving some direction for self-evaluation of a website's quality. Google has provided a list of 23 bullet points on its blog answering the question of what counts as a high-quality site. And this is supposed to help webmasters step into Google's mindset. So, ranking factors. Let's discuss those really quickly. Google Panda is a filter that prevents low-quality sites and pages from ranking well in the search engine results page. The filter's threshold is influenced by Google quality raters. Quality raters answer questions such as, would I trust this site with my credit card? So that Google can distinguish the difference between high and low quality sites. The Google Panda patent was filed on September 28, 2012 and was granted on March 25, 2014. The patent states that Google Panda creates a ratio with a site's inbound links and reference queries, search queries for the site's brand. That ratio is then used to create a site-wide modification factor. The site-wide modification factor is then used to create a modification factor for a page based on a search query. If the page fails to meet a certain threshold, a modification factor is applied, and therefore the page would rank lower in the search engine results page. Google Panda affects the ranking of the entire site or specific section rather than just the individual pages on a site. In March 2012, Google updated Panda, and Google says that it only takes a few pages of poor quality or duplicated content to hold down traffic on an otherwise solid site. Recommends such pages be removed, blocked from being indexed by the search engine, or rewritten. However, Matt Cutts, one of the lead guys over at Google, he's the head of web spam, warns that rewriting duplicate content so that it is original may not be enough to recover from Panda. The rewrites must be of sufficiently high quality, such content brings additional value to the web. Content that is general, non-specific, and not substantially different from what is already out there should not be expected to rank well. Those other sites are not bringing additional value. When they're not duplicates, they bring nothing new to the table. So, Google Penguin is a code name for a Google algorithm update that was first announced on April 24, 2012. The update is aimed at decreasing search rankings of websites that violate Google's Webmaster Guidelines by using now declared black hat SEO techniques involved in increasing artificially the ranking of a web page by manipulating the number of links pointing to the page. Such tactics are commonly described as link schemes. According to Google's John Mueller, Google has announced that all updates to the Penguin filter to the public. So let's discuss the effects on the search results. By Google's estimates, Penguin affects approximately 3.1% of search queries in English, about 3% of queries in languages like German, Chinese, and Arabic, and an even bigger percentage of them in highly spam languages. On May 25, 2012, Google unveiled another Penguin update called Penguin 1.1. In this update, according to Matt Cutts, it was supposed to affect less than 0.1% of English searches. The guiding principle for the update was to penalize websites using manipulative techniques to achieve high rankings. The purpose per Google was to catch excessive spammers. Allegedly, few websites lost search rankings on Google for specific keywords during the Panda and Penguin rollouts. Google specifically mentions that doorway pages, which are only built to attract search engine traffic, are against their webmaster guidelines. In January 2012, the so-called page layout algorithm update, also known as the top-heavy update, was released, which many targeted websites with too many ads or too little content above the fold. Penguin 3 was released October 5, 2012, and affected 0.3% of queries. Penguin 4, aka Penguin 2.0, was released on May 22, 2013, and affected 2.3% of all queries. Finally, Penguin 5 was released on October 4, 2013, and affected 1% of queries, and has been the most recent of the Google Penguin algorithm updates. There's some question as to whether Google released Penguin 3.0 on October 18, 2014. On October 21, 2014, Google's Pierre Farr confirmed that 3.0 was an algorithm refresh and no new signals were added. The strategic goal that Panda, Penguin, and the page layout update share is to display higher quality websites at the top of Google's search results. However, sites that were downranked as a result of these refreshes have different sets of characteristics. The main target of Google Penguin is spamdexing, including link bombing. So let's discuss Google Hummingbird really quickly. Hummingbird is a search algorithm used by Google, and they started using Hummingbird about August 30th, 2013, and announced the change on September 26th on the eve of the customer's 15th anniversary. Gianluca Fiorelli said that Hummingbird is about synonyms, but also about context. Google also had synonyms, he writes, but with Hummingbird, it's also able to judge content, thereby judging the intent of a person carrying out a search to determine what they are trying to find out. Danny Sullivan said of Hummingbird that Google said that Hummingbird is paying more attention to each word in a query, ensuring that the whole query, the whole sentence or conversation or meaning is taken into account. And Michelle Hill said Hummingbird is about understanding intent. So Steve Masters, these are all professional digital marketers, wrote that the Hummingbird approach should be inspirational to anyone managing and planning content. If you aren't already thinking like Hummingbird, you should be. In a nutshell, think about why people are looking for something than what they are looking for. A content strategy should be designed to answer their needs, not just provide them with facts. And this is the dawning of the age of semantic search. The Hummingbird update was the first major update to Google's search algorithm since the 2010 caffeine update, but even that was limited primarily to improving the indexing of information rather than the sorting of information. Google search chief Amit Singhal stated that Hummingbird is the first major update of its type since 2001. Conversational search leverages natural language, semantic search, and more to improve the way that search queries are parsed. Unlike previous search algorithms, which focus on each individual word in the search query, Hummingbird considers each word, but also how each word makes up the entirety of the query. The whole sentence or conversation or meaning is taken into account rather than particular words. The goal is that pages matching the meaning do better rather than pages just matching just a few words. Much like the extension of Google's knowledge graph, Hummingbird is aimed at making interactions more human, capable of understanding the concepts and relationships between keywords. Hummingbird places greater emphasis on page content, making search results more relevant and pertinent, and ensuring that Google delivers to the users the most appropriate page of a website, rather than to a homepage or a top-level page. So search engine optimization really received very little changes with the addition of Hummingbird, though the more top-ranking results are the ones that provide natural content that reads conversationally. So while keywords within the query still continue to be important, Hummingbird adds more strength to long-tailed keywords, effectively catering to the optimization of content rather than just keywords. Webmasters will now have to cater towards queries that are asked naturally. With the growing number of conversational queries, namely those using voice search, targeting phrases that start with who, why, where, how, will prove beneficial towards SEO. The use of keyword synonyms have also been optimized with Hummingbird. Instead of listing results with exact phrases or keywords, Google shows more theme-related keywords. So let's discuss how to remove a penalty. So step 1, collecting backlink data. First of all, we need to pull a list from all the links pointing to your website from a few different sources. A Google employee on the Webmaster Central forums has recently stated that they recommend that you focus on the Webmaster tool links. Whether you choose to believe that, though, is another question. There's an interesting discussion on this available over at the Webmaster Central forums if you just do a search. Matt Cutts has also responded saying the following. It's certainly the case that we endeavor to show examples from the set of links returned by Webmaster Tools, and likewise we prefer to assess reconsideration requests on the basis of those links. However, if there's a really good example link that illustrates a problem, we do leave enough room to share that link, especially because it can help point the webmaster in a better direction to diagnose and fix issues. Whilst it may be that Google just wants you to remove the majority of bad links and not necessarily every single one of them, I would personally recommend doing the job properly and start by collecting as much data as possible from the various different link sources. So Google Webmaster Tools. Log into Google Webmaster Tools and click into the website with the issues. Go to Search Traffic, Links to your site, and then click the More link under the Who Links the Most tab. Once in there, click the Download More sample links from the top. You can check it out over at OpenSiteExplorer.org as well and type in your domain name. Make sure you get this absolutely correct, as having a slight variation of your domain, such as missing out the www can cause a different set of results. Once loaded, click on the Advanced Report tab, click Links that come from External Linking page, and leave all the other settings as they are, and then click Export. Ahrefs. You can go to ahrefs.com and enter in your domain. Click the CSV tab and export the list of backlinks reference pages. Ahrefs is an absolutely brilliant tool that's helped myself many times with link removal campaigns, and it allows you to narrow down quickly site-wide links, followed, no followed links, and more. You can also check out MajesticSEO.com, enter your domain name, and click Historic Index. This will show all your previous links instead of just the most recent. If you click on the Backlinks tab, scroll to the bottom of the page, click Download Data. Most of the above sites will require you to have subscriptions in order to gather the data. Sites such as Majestic SEO will allow you to use the tool free of charge or a limited amount if you have a domain verified in your Webmaster Tools account. That being said, for the sake of 1 or 2 months membership, it's worth paying for the wealth of data you'll get. So number 2, documenting your work. Start by creating yourself a Google Docs spreadsheet where you can track all of your work to see exactly where you're at with the link removal process. This will be extremely useful when you come to submitting a reconsideration request with Google, as they'll be able to see exactly what you've done to sort out the issues with your site. Should also point out that at this point that Google says that they don't tend to trust external links from sources they don't trust. For that reason, I recommend only using a Google spreadsheet when documenting your work, as it's a Google product and trusted by them. You can also include a link to this document in your reconsideration request really easily, and it's free. We would usually start by creating tabs at the bottom of a spreadsheet for each of our data sources. For example, Google Webmaster Tools, Ahrefs, Majestic SEO, and OpenSite Explorer each get their own tab. You don't have to separate your data into different sheets, but I personally think it shows more work being carried out and allows more in-depth analysis. The only disadvantage to doing this is that you'll have lots of repeat links. We do, however, have this covered. You can go ahead and use a Google Docs spreadsheet which will help combine multiple sheets together and remove duplicates. And you can also find a remove duplicates add-in just by Googling plugins for Google Docs.